record. Okay, guys, this is KEL once again on the 29th of March 2026, Sunday special. Now, the last time we do this was many months ago. And today we are talking about gold. Why I think that we are near to a big buy for gold. Now, many people around me, as many as you can think of, says that gold is going to crash. Many think that gold will go down to 3,600. Many people are saying that it may go down to 3,000. Now, for me, I don't think so. I think gold will likely be going up again. But of course, it will not be immediate. Ben, I need you to wave again if you can do me a favor. Okay, yes, for you. Okay, all right. So I'll mute you. All right, so today we have a very special guest. All right, you can see on the top of my screen, Mr. Benedict Chin. He is a former corporate director and he is an entrepreneur himself and he's a gold bug. Now, I remember meeting Benedict back then when gold was at 1,700, 1,800, and both of us agrees that gold will go to 3,000 to even 4,000. But of course, gold went beyond to 5,500 recently. And of course, at the time itself, when everybody was chasing gold, both of us agree that the gold is a little bit crazy and most likely it will pull back. And indeed, gold pull back all the way down. And now this is the time whereby everyone is asking me now, KEL, gold, can we go anywhere higher? So because of that, let's us bring Benedict in and see what he has to share with us. So Ben, take it away.
Thank you, KEL. For those who don't know me, I'm a long-term gold investor. Yeah, I've known KEL for many years, and because KEL focus a lot on gold, yeah, and gold is one of his specialty traits, and I put a lot of weighting on what KEL has to say. Yeah, and like him, I myself, I spend a lot of time analyzing gold as well. I've been doing it for almost 10 years now. Yeah. Gold still form a very large part of my investment. Yeah. So I have skin in the game, meaning I'm not just talking about gold. Yeah. I have my money in gold itself. Now, gold has been quite crazy. Yeah. What I will try to do today is I'll try to explain why gold is still a safe haven. Yeah. Recently, as we all know, there's been a bit of unrest in the world, especially in the Middle East, and something strange happened there, which until quite recently, I was not able to find a satisfactory explanation, the usual thing about gold falling is, the DXY, which is the US dollar, has strengthened, or the bond yield has risen. Yeah, that's why gold has fallen. But all that is not good enough explanation for me, because along the way last year we see that gold has decoupled from the US dollar and from bond yield. Yeah, so it's not a good enough explanation until recently, especially after the US-Israeli alliance attacked the gas field in Iran, and Iran, in retaliation, attacked the gas field in Qatar, which knocked out 17% of their production capacity of natural gas. Yeah. And the reaction of gold to that, was an immediate drop. Yeah. And at the same time, US dollar went up, and at the same time, US Treasury bond, actually came down in value, and as a result of that, the bond yield shot up. Yeah. So what caused all this? Yeah. Until I was a bit at a loss, to be honest with you. I was totally expecting gold to shoot up when the war broke out, but it didn't. Yeah. So it finally came through one of the analysts, which is based in Asia, because I used to pay a lot of attention to analysts who are based in the US. Yeah. But this time around, the driver seems to not come from the US, but elsewhere in other part of the world. Yeah. So coming back to it, or what was driving all this? Yeah. You see, uh, one of the main gold trading hub in the Middle East is actually in Dubai. Yeah, a lot of gold is bought there, a lot of gold is sold there. In fact, it is India, Middle East culture to own gold, yeah, to store your wealth in gold. So there are a lot of investors in the Middle East who actually buy and hold gold as an investment. Now, when the bombs start falling in Dubai, yeah, people were fleeing the country. Yeah, uh, the Dubai airport, was jam packed, and there were people fleeing towards Saudi Arabia. There were people fleeing towards Oman, yeah, by car. Yeah. Now all these people fleeing, yeah, they need to take their wealth with them. Yeah. And some of these investors, believe it or not, they're going to have more than just a few kilo of gold. Yeah. And to take that gold with you, yeah, is not so convenient. So what would most of us do, yeah, if we are in that situation, we put ourselves in that situation. If I were in the shoe, I would sell my gold, yeah, into US dollar, for example, yeah, put it in the bank, yeah, and then I can draw it up from wherever I go to. And coincidentally, yeah, from what I hear from a lot of analysts, a lot of these rich people actually ended up in Hong Kong and in Singapore, yeah, so their wealth will be transferred here. But okay, at the same time, what did we see? Bitcoin actually went up in value. Yeah, Bitcoin actually increased in value. So instead of putting it into the bank, yeah, a lot of people are actually putting their wealth into Bitcoin and drawing it out once they reach the destination. So Bitcoin is actually a currency of flight. Yeah, when you need to take your money, your wealth somewhere in a hurry. Yeah, a very good way to do it is by digital mean. Yeah, so that is the reason why, yeah, Bitcoin inflated in value, yeah, when this war started. Now, the other thing that was brought to my attention was that the currencies of the GCC, yeah, the Gulf country cooperation, Saudi Arabia, your UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, all these countries actually have their currency pegged to the US dollar, pegged within a very narrow range. Yeah, just like in Asia here. Yeah, the Hong Kong dollar is actually pegged to the US dollar. Now, what happened when people start selling your currency for US dollar? Yeah, for example, if they sell their gold, yeah, for dirham, for example, yeah, and take the money out of the country, and once it's out of the country, yeah, they'll probably convert it into US dollar, yeah. So that is the reason why, yeah, the local currency, the dirham, for example, or the Saudi Arabian rial, yeah, is actually fell in value. Now, if you have a pegged currency, you cannot allow your exchange rate to fluctuate within a very narrow band. If it does fluctuate outside of that band, it's mayhem. Yeah, everything will collapse. Your own financial system will collapse. So, in their position, yeah, their central banks, yeah, of the GCC, the Gulf Country Corporation, will sell whatever wealth they have, yeah, in their in their vault, yeah, be it U.S. Treasury or be it gold. That is why U.S. Treasury came down at the same time, yeah, in value, and this is part of the mystery there, because in times of fear, yeah, in times of unrest, U.S. Treasury is one of the traditional safe haven. And yet this time around, along with gold, yeah, it fell in value. So there you have it. That is the main reason why gold has fallen. Yeah. Is it going to fall further? I don't really know. Yeah, but we will have to wait and see because okay, if peace, if Donald Trump really means what he say, he's able to broker a peace deal. Yeah, I think gold will not fall further. Yeah, or the other thing is if the Gulf states, yeah, have finished selling all their gold, yeah, then in that event, yeah, even if the war continues or get worsened, yeah, you will not see gold fall further. If you want my personal opinion, where I would think is that if the war is going to escalate further, for example, if Trump is going to send foot soldiers into Iran, yeah, I think, yeah, with that escalation, I think gold still has a little bit more to fall. Yeah. And don't forget one thing. The trouble in the US economy is not just this war alone. It's not just the price of gold or not just the value of the treasury, but the impact of the gold. I'm sorry, the impact of the oil price as well. Yeah, don't forget the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Yeah, unless you have to pay the gate fee of 2 million US dollar equivalent in RMB. Yeah, in Chinese yuan, and don't forget also the Houthis. Yeah, the Ansar Allah, yeah, in Yemen have also joined in the war. At any time, they can close off the Red Sea, and that is another 10% of world oil, yeah, that is able to come into Asia. I mean, we are all feeling the pain now, yeah, even with just Hormuz alone, which is about 20% of world oil consumption, yeah, coming through the Straits of Hormuz. Now, if the Red Sea get closed off, yeah, by the Yemeni Houthis, yeah, that would be another big hit, yeah, for oil price as well. Now, what is oil going to do? Yeah, oil price escalation going to do? It's going to raise inflation, and with inflation, yeah, gold price, yeah, always welcomes inflation. Yeah, you will always see gold price rising along with inflation because gold is known to maintain the purchasing power, yeah, of any currency, of the value of gold itself. And that is not the end of the story. Yeah. We also know something about the private credit issue. Yeah. Which is brewing right now in the U.S. economy. Now, this thing is big, yeah, and I think Kelly must have touched on it in your recent broadcast as well. This is a very big thing. A lot of people are saying that this thing is bigger than the subprime issue that the U.S. economy faced in 2008. Yeah. Now, what we have here really, I mean, I can only think of one scenario, yeah. It's called a perfect storm. Yeah. You have bad weather coming from you from all direction. Yeah. And this thing can be very, very big. Yeah. Um, when the US stock market falls, one thing always happen. Yeah. A lot of the investment in the US market is on margin, yeah, on leverage. Yeah. A lot of position will be faced with margin calls. Yeah. And when you are faced with a margin call, you would tend to sell off whatever you have that is in profit. Yeah. You tend to leave those in the red because they're not worth so much. Yeah. You tend to leave those alone, but you will sell off what you have that is profitable, yeah, to get money to pay off your margin call, yeah, without which you'll be forced to liquidate your position. And under such position, under such condition, gold normally suffers, yeah, gold normally falls when the stock market crash for this reason alone. But this time it is not going to be just the US market alone. Yeah. It is going to be a global recession because of the impact of the high oil costs, yeah, crude oil costs. And don't forget, yeah, uh, big economies such as the Japanese economy, they are in dire stress as well. And this is where the other bad weather front is coming. Yeah. With the Japanese economy, we know that over the years, yeah, something called a yen carry trade, yeah, have been going on, meaning people borrow money from Japan because the interest rate is so low. And using the money they borrow from Japan, they convert it into US dollar and they buy US Treasury, with it, or they buy equities, stocks in the US market. Yeah. So what has been happening is that the Japanese economy has been performing quite poorly, and the Japanese yen has been falling, yeah, rapidly to the extent that the Bank of Japan, yeah, have to intervene, yeah, to try to bring the value of the yen up. Yeah, otherwise they will be faced with astronomical inflation. So in bringing the value of the yen up, yeah, uh, uh, either by selling treasury or by increasing the exchange rate, yeah, it's going to make the yen carry trade either not feasible, you're going to lose money out of it, or it become less attractive. Under which case, yeah, people will pull their money, from the investment in the US market. Now, how much money is invested in the US market that came through the yen carry trade? Yeah, some people estimate that it is as much as 3 trillion US dollar. That is a lot of money. That wall of money is pulled out from the US market in an instant. Yeah, that would be a big disaster. We actually saw one day of turmoil last year in August. Yeah, if you go back and look at the daily chart, yeah, of the U.S. stock market, doesn't matter if your Dow or your S&P or your Nasdaq. Yeah, in August last year, yeah, there was a big drop. Yeah, over a period of 1 to 2 days max. Yeah, that was just a preview of what a yen carry trade being reversed will look like. Yeah, and that could happen. Yeah, and that is why I said this is a, a perfect storm. Now, when market crash like that, every government every central bank will try to pull, will try to first of all stabilize it, yeah, and will try to stimulate themselves out of this recession. So what will they do? They will print money. Yeah, whenever you print money, that is dynamite for gold. Yeah, because gold will always want to maintain its purchasing power, yeah, uh, by increasing in value whenever there's a lot of money printed. So if you ask me, yeah, what is gold price going to look like in the future? I would say in the near term, yeah, I I'm not God, so I don't know the timing, but in the near term, yeah, uh, gold can come down. Yeah. How low, I don't really know. Yeah. KEL is in a much better position because he is very good in technical. Yeah. And my inkling is probably somewhere around 4,000 to maybe even 3,005 if things get bad enough. Yeah. I don't really know. But the best thing is just look at the situation. Yeah. What is the cycle of the war, yeah, situation, for example? Is it coming to an end? Yeah. Has it ended? Yeah. Has oil started to flow? Yeah. Uh, has the oil price, yeah, start to stabilize yet? Yeah. These are clues that we can get, yeah, to knowing whether oil has bottomed out. Yeah. But in the longer term, as I mentioned, yeah, we are likely, I think it's almost baked in the cake that we are going to see a global recession. Yeah. Whenever we have such a dire situation like that, yeah, governments around the world will print money, yeah, to try to save the economy, yeah, from a bad recession. And that is when we will see gold shoot up. Yeah. And if you have bought gold at 5,000, I wouldn't be worried about it. I actually bought some gold at 5,000, to be honest. Yeah. But I'm not going to be worried about it because I think towards the end of the year or maybe by early next year, yeah, we can very likely see gold way past 5,000. I don't know how high it will go. Yeah. So that's where I think gold will be. Yeah. And to answer that question on whether gold is a safe haven, I still say yes. Yeah. Because if I look at my own situation, I hold physical gold. Yeah. I hold it as an insurance. Will I sell my gold? I said no, unless I need money. Yeah. And that is when I'll sell money. I'll sell my gold for money. And this is the same situation that is being faced by the Gulf Council, the GCC, the Gulf countries. Yeah, they need money to show up their currency. Yeah, and that's when they sold gold. So that situation is not going to go on forever. That is why I said if we see gold falling, it's a temporary situation. Yeah, in the mid to longer term, I still expect gold to rise up very nicely. Yeah. So that's my take on gold. Yeah. Feel free if you have any question. Yeah. Feel free to ask.
Well, I think that there's isn't much to ask you, Ben. I think that you have covered basically almost everything that I want to cover fundamentally, as usual. All right. Like, oh, there's a background feedback. I think someone on your side using the phone. Okay. So Ben, okay. So Ben, if you're in your perspective, you are looking at a price of 3,600.
Um, it could fall below 4,000, and it may even go down to about 3,004 maybe. Yeah. Because if you look at the chart itself, yeah, just before it starts to take off, yeah, it plateaued a little bit at around 3,005, somewhere around there. Yeah, it plateaued off a little bit. And then after that it started to take off. Yeah. And I do not think that gold will ever fall below that level because the central banks have already accumulated a lot of gold. Yeah. And that forms the floor price for gold in a way. Yeah. And I think that is the sort of level that the central bank accumulation of gold has brought the price to. Yeah. And where we see uh, investors selling, yeah, are those the speculators who came in, yeah, at the later stage of the gold price hike, yeah. Yes, I mean long answer short, yeah, to answer your question, I would see gold possibly going below 4,000, yeah, but I would not expect gold to ever go below 3,005, yeah, around that sort
So
of level.
understand, Ben. Okay, thank you very much. I think that Louis, one of our very long supporter, has given you a thumbs up for excellent sharing. Thank you, Ben. I think someone behind you, if you're not wrong, is Kelsa turning on the handphone at the same time, right? That's like have double feedback at the moment, or someone
Off
else.
your
Okay,
or
okay.
put on your earplug.
Yes. Okay, so let me just take over from here, Ben, to share more of you guys with the technical side. I was getting a bit late, yeah. So I really like Ben's sharing because it really has a lot of very what it calls information that you don't see on the mainstream media, and I like that very much. As a matter of fact itself, right, I'll share you something that I also unearthed earlier about one country that has basically unloaded a lot of gold, and that basically created the selling recently. So before that, let me just, I forgot to do this earlier step, is to make sure that we are all covered, which is the disclaimer. we forgot to do that. Okay. So before we go on, continue, please understand this disclaimer apply as usual for both myself and Benedict. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's us now look at the very important data for tonight at the moment right now. I think everyone want to see this data. Okay. All right. At the moment now, based on the IG weekend data, the Dow Jones is down by 152 points, or approximately trading at 44,900 series, yeah, at the moment right now. Okay, and gold price is up by $24. Also, this is all just a reference. Okay, this may change throughout the day, throughout the night, tomorrow morning. It can change. Sometime may not be exactly the same. Okay, so this is something to take note of. Yeah. Okay, so this one I take away first, and I give you now the more important fundamentals that I prepared for all of you tonight. Okay, let me just bring it in. Now, we all know that the Dow Jones tumbled 800 points last Friday and it's entered a correction. Now, what is correction? Do understand this. Correction and bear market is totally different thing. Correction is when the highest point pull back by 10%. That is called correction. From the highest point to 5%, we call it as a technical correction. So what's the difference between technical correction and correction? Technical correction is just because the market go up too fast. A 5% pullback is a very good form of a pullback for the bull to continue again. But when the market from the highest point drop by 10%, that is where the market get a little bit shaky because they are not too sure now whether the market will recover. Now, when the market drop from the highest point to 20%, down 20%, right? And that is where the alarm clock, the alarm will rings because that is whereby people actually says that this is going to get into the bear market condition. So where are we right now? We're at the 10% mark, which is the 90th Tau level. So we are not into a real sell-off yet, but definitely the market is getting a bit jittery. Okay, that's for sure, yeah? And of course, oil price has went up to a new high for closing based from 2022. Now, last week, I've been calling on oil to buy. I've been calling for buy. I even give a target. I draw with a lot of charts and stuff. And it's all happening, right? So because why? AI has basically changes the whole way at body trade. So CRAZII happened to be on this leak here. So that's why when the market move, right, CRAZII, the KCB, the KCL, everything works perfectly fine. Even our KTR recently, the accuracy itself is really impeccable. So that's why I say you must have CRAZII, then you can actually know how to do this. Now, we all know the tech shares has fallen quite a fair bit because we have Microsoft getting hit, Facebook getting hit very badly, 2 consecutive court case losses in a row. So all these are happening just like that. So is it coincidence or is it just the time to get out from the market? Now, I personally have been a very bear in the US market for a very, very long time. And of course, this right now, I did sell, but not as much as the previous time. Reason because I basically moved the concentration to gold, which seemingly not very fantastic, but it's okay. I buy what just Benedict say. I think that gold will go higher than $5,000 by end of this year. So I'm not worried on that. As a matter of fact, today, I think very important is this. The fear and greed index now for the US economy is trading at 10. And 10 is a very good number for buying. I repeat, 10 is a very good number for buying. In fact, itself, the last time we see this was at 5 in 5th on the 20th November period where the market crashed quite badly, right? During the 2025 November period. And then after that itself, that was when I saw the 5. I tell everyone around me not to sell the US market anymore. As a matter of fact, buy up the market. So today, same thing. Today, we are at 10 right now. I think we are almost near 8 by tomorrow if the market continue. And I think that is where you should be looking or considering to buy from the bottom. And very important, if you look carefully, when the US stock market actually goes up, right, you notice that gold also will go up. Yes. So when the stock market goes up, gold also go up. It's very contrary to what you learn in economics, but throw that away. That is no longer important here. Today, remember what I say, right? Okay. What is this? Okay. I just give y'all whatever y'all want. I don't know what is her request, but it's okay. So guys, take note of that. Now, this is going to be a very big one for all of you, okay? And because right now you can see that the dollar index chart. Now, this is the dollar. Now, we all know that the reason why gold has been coming down is because the dollar has been strengthening. From 96.50, dollar has strengthened all the way to 99 to 100. And during this period of time, gold dropped from 5,300, dropped all the way down to 4,400 level, right, in the cash market. So that is very interesting. That's very simple to understand this, right? So if let's say now, hypothetically, if the dollar is to pull back down, gold will fly. Yes, indeed, gold will fly. So I still think that gold will hit 5,400 within a few months' time. Okay, I'm having a lot of problem here about the AI companionship. I don't know whether to decline or stop. I just don't care for it. Yeah. So my view is this, okay? It will still go up to my target of 6,200 by December this year, okay? So Ben, I'm not too sure you and me have the same number in mind. Mine is 6,200 by the end of this year. So why is that so? Because we all know that coming May, Jerome Powell will step down. That's for sure. The new guy will go in, and the guy will likely pull down the interest rate. Now, why do I say that? If you look carefully in timing, we all know that Donald Trump has given the timeline to tell people to that within the next 10 days they will cease and they must get it done, blah blah blah. So after that itself, right, I think the market will realize that okay, if the oil price is coming down, then maybe let's look at the interest rate cutting again. So it's possible. So to me, I felt that, right, the dollar should be pulling back soon unless the war escalate. Now, when the war escalate to a new level whereby they put the soldiers down to the ground of this Iran, then you can see the dollar really going up very crazy. So that is where you must be very careful, yeah? All right, if not, then I think we are almost there. Okay, now this is the S&P chart, everybody. This is very, very interesting. Okay, let's take a look, yeah? Now, S&P 500 in 2021, let's say this point A, right? This point A. Do you notice that after that, it went to point B? Okay, fine. But when it came back down, if you notice carefully, it came back to A again. Very interesting. And then after that, when it go to B again on B1, it went to new high, where we have it as C, right? Okay, let's do a simple one. We call it C. So this is C. So but when we pull back itself, oh my God, it came back to B2. This is the same one as B1. So you notice that when the market hit a new high and it pull back, it goes back to visit the previous high. And when it goes up again, it get revisiting the previous high. So that is very clear that now, if we look at this as a symmetrical potential, all right, then the next market movement that I think the market will bottom will be 6,160. All right, somewhere there. So where are we right now? We have 3,000, sorry, we are now 6,368. So if you really think that what I say is true, then the S&P 500 may have to drop another 200 points, then we can get a real base. 200 points on S&P is about 1,700 points on the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones now is at 45,000, right? So if we drop by another 1,700 points from where we are today, then there's a very, very, very high chance that we are going to see a real market bottom for this round. Now, as a matter of fact, for those who have been tracking me, I did tell you that February, the market will still be up, but March and April, the market will sell off very badly, and we will likely see a market turning point between late April to early May. Remember that? I told you guys. How many of you all remember that? Okay, that I say that, right? January to February, market will still be up. And then March to April, market will sell, and bottom is around late April to early May. So this is what I written back then. I'm not too sure how many of you remember. I see only Jerry remembering it. How about the rest of you guys? Do you remember what I told you? Now, of course, this is not important. The main thing is this. I'm saying that if the S&P 500 do recover, there's a very high chance gold will follow through. Now, for oil price, I'm pretty confident that we will see 110, 105 in the near term again. So 105 to 110 to me is going to be happening again. Now, of course, if whatever this band has said, if homicide itself, they're going to really do more closing, which I think they will, then it's very high chance that we can see oil going all the way up to retest the high here back in 2022. And of course, if the market really does that, this is going to really make everybody very upset, because we all remember when this happened itself, right? Our cost of living went up by 10 to 15%. And because of that, the market take this on and then basically staple the price for us until today. So to me, this is going to hit us again. Okay. Now, I'm not being pessimistic here, but I'm being very real here itself, because you must understand that. Now, for those who are gold traders, watch out for this. It's going to be very interesting. Now, gold has been moving all the way up for the longest of time, but now it's coming back here again. I'm going to look carefully, everybody, using very traditional indicator at RSI at the lower end. We do see the market actually will go up. It's not 100% thing, but it's actually there for a reason. And for those who use my KCX indicator, you will notice the same thing too. All right, the photos using my indicator, you will know that the KCX now has turned green, right? Now, turning green is one. When it turns green, it basically informs us that the market might be needing a new blood. And usually, when the market turns to CCRY on the next momentum, that was where things about peace start to come in, right? Because after that, you notice that the market ever since back in 2025, after he believe in this, then wow, look at the way the market jumped for him. Look at the revenue that is really impeccable. So same thing here again, if the market pulls back down, KCX turns green, then after that, the market go to a new high and even a higher level. So what do you think, guys? Do you think that this will happen? I think it will, because you have the MLP, the MA 200, MA 30, everyone is congregating at the same point. So there's a very high chance that this happened, because now you can see the KCX now is a KSI, sorry. The KSI is coming down, while the KCX now is lifting away from the green area. So I can safely say we have 80% chance that there's nothing going to happen. But we know that very soon there will be a big buy call on gold. And I really wish that everyone is around me to do that. Yeah. Now, of course, I have some gold position. That doesn't mean that I'm biased. I just showing you that if, let's say, the gold price doesn't really match what it's supposed to do by Monday or Tuesday, then my personal advice to let it go, because if the stock market plunge again, gold will be definitely the first to be sacrificed. All right, this is something that you need to understand. Okay, very important. And Turkey Bank is the one of them who sold 58 tons of gold worth $8 billion in just 2 weeks. Now, $8 billion is a lot of money. So the gold reserve dropped by 6%, all right? And of course, it's been dropping. So it tells you a lot of things about the country now. They are really losing money. So they don't want to hold on something that doesn't really give them value, right? So you can see it's pretty bad, yeah? And of course, I have more articles that if you are interested to look at, you can take a look. I have one interesting article on share this with you since you're online. Oops, did I do something wrong here yourself? Okay, all right. I think I accidentally pressed something. Okay, I go to my home first, and I go to my self. Okay, I hope I'm not being blocked for any reason. Okay, so here we go. All right. The tech premium now is at the lowest level since 2019. That's really crazy. And also we can see this. the agriculture commodity chart has already broken up the trend. I told you guys, commodity was sure to go up first because when oil price goes up, commodity prices will follow and everybody will follow through. And that's where you get your food stuff increasing by 20% while your pay never really increased, correct? Yes, so that is how it works. So now before we go to the charts form, let me just explain this again to everybody. KCX was created for bull market condition, and I think that we are still near to the ninth inning of the bull. So we are watching very closely. And one thing to note, for the market to really move, you need the CCRY formation before you actually trade. But we can see from here itself, right, there wasn't much over here. And I believe that, okay, that is a winning formula, but I don't think so. So this is something that you have to be very careful. Look out for the color to turn yellow. I think it will flip around for a while and then it will be smoothly going up. My personal target for gold is to come here about 4838. I think this is where I think the minimum charge should be challenging towards for all students. Yeah. Okay. All right. So take care on that. Okay, so that is the goal chart. So if everything goes according to plan, okay, guys, we will be able to go up first to 4651, and then you may hover for a short moment before entering the 4838 level. Okay, so that is my personal take for this time round. Because anything higher than that, I think you need to wait for a while. Yeah, so be very, very careful. Okay, so that is the gold view at the moment right now. For the Dow Jones, I already told you guys, Dow Jones has continued to fall quite badly. It should be able to test the KCB somewhere around here, 44,824 or 44,452. All right. You remember this is the very typical elephant trade that I've been warning and warning, whereby the prices go up, but yet the KSI stay red. So when the market starts to go below OP, naturally it will come back to where it started. Now, this is not the first time, not the second time. I've done this so many times. Even recently like this, when the price shoot up here as well, everybody thinks it's going to be market bottom. When I look at the KSI or the KCX sell, I know the answer. So we refuse to buy. In fact, we sell the market and we make some profit. So even though the market has a small upside, but the strategy is always the same. So guys, that's why you need to have the indicator on your hand. And we do have it now for 15 days for free. So go to find, for those in Singapore, please find Susan. She'll guide you on that all through Telegram. Okay, so that is done on the what we had earlier. So anything, what other food do you suggest? Any market you look at suggest for me? All right. The market now for the Ethereum, okay? Hold on a minute. Ethereum. Okay. Now, Ethereum has started to come down, as you can see very clearly. Ethereum, since this day, right, as turned red in color, Ethereum rebounded back to 2,200 for the low end of 2,000. I gave the thumbs down. I believe that the market will come down. And truth be told, because the KSI is green, the KCX is still blue, so there was no reason for the market not to come down. And when I saw the selling was so rapid, I know they're going to break new high, which already all happened. Okay, the question will be is that what do I expect for Ethereum? I think we are near a bottom. Try at 1950, a number that I tried before. So 1950 is the technical level that you need to watch out very closely. But 1940 will be good enough. Okay, so then after that, from here, you decide. If the market stays above OP and everything is perfect, then decide to go back to your MA30. I think that will be the best solution for now for Ethereum. Now, we all know that Ethereum and Bitcoin are the sacrifice lamb for the people. So like gold, they were all rising nicely. And then when the stock market needed help, they basically dump the gold, dump the bond just to keep it low profile. Yeah. But then we have so many people now all calling for sell. To me, it's just a matter of time. If you look at the 5-minute chart on the US market, let's take a look. I think I have it. Okay, so this is the Dow Jones right now. It has just went below, slightly below the 50 percentile level. You can see on this day, the market rebounded very nicely. So if the market really want to tear it down, I think somewhere in the middle will be really good enough. So that will give me around 44,250. which basically coincide very well with what we talk about. So watch out for this, guys. This is going to be a very interesting wave, 4425 or you take the middle ground somewhere around 44 500. Okay, so that will be the Dow Jones number, 44,500. Okay, all right. Now, oil price, as you can see, why we are so confident in the oil price, because you can see that the KCB was there. So when the market opens on Friday, the nearest KCB was here. So I went in to buy and target here. And the whole thing itself, you can see, is very simple to understand. Once you know that after a big sell-off, the market will always come back. So earlier, you can see that the market was black in color. After that, the market just nowhere to go for the soft spot. Yeah. Okay. So that's how it works for us. So to wrap it away, allow me to just share with this is that we want you to make money from gold next week. I know that fundamentally it's not able to prove that it's a good time to buy gold because they are very afraid that the war will continue. And shall it continue, then what will happen next is that, people will need the funds and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. So guys, tomorrow morning, remember Singapore time, 6 o'clock, it will start trading. At the moment now, gold is up by $20. Dow Jones down by 150 points. So let's see how it goes tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, there will be no market talk because I will be busy in the morning. We will do some sharing in the charts form. All right. Thank you guys for coming in to listen to me today. Remember, I am bullish on gold and I want to buy gold. So I'm waiting for the first CCRY to appear before I decide. Okay. So guys, thank you very much. Take care. Have a good night rest. I'll see you guys tomorrow online later. Bye-bye. Thank you, Benedict, for your time. Thank you for sharing in. I'll hope to see you again. If there's any big information that you have, please send a PM to me. I'll forward it up to the group chats. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye. Good night, everybody. Good night. Thank you.